Alright guys, so we got two alteration reviews to kind of get going right now. Like I thought this week was going to be a standard week, but they decided to bombshell us with a double. Like we got a full armor unicorn over here with a different attribute, and then we got our long awaited Wing Gundam Zero Endless World version finally getting his alterations over here. So we have a pretty stacked week in a so-called standard week over here. So yeah, I guess, right? In terms of this new banner they've been calling it, or they have called it just now, we've seen that banner structure before already. In parts dropping a 6-star right out the bat, but this time around they decided to give it a name, the Urgent Battle, which is kind of a weird naming. I don't know what they're thinking with like dropping double. Like, have they? Did they not realize this is not a Sokai week or a Gundam Battle Festival week? But Bandai schedule doesn't really care about whether or not it's a Sokai week or a regular week. They will just drop whatever they want. So here we go. So in terms, I just want to elaborate a little bit more on the full armor unicorn. Initially, I thought it was going to be like a permanent standard unit getting a 1-to-1 scale, but it looks like it's just another rehash, just another upgraded, not upgraded, I would say just a more modernized version of what we have seen from the T-type full armor unicorn already in the game. The only difference is you have better stats, you have a better suitable vortex for your shooter builds, you have a better stat line is significantly better than what they could have done, let's say 11 months ago. If I project myself looking at this game another 11 months later, I'm pretty sure they can they can potentially rehash another attribute of the full armor unicorn with better stat line. Obviously, I think they can be looking at like 13k for headshot attack. I'm just spitballing right now, right? But that is something I can foresee, or I think anyone can just kind of predict, because power creep in this game is inevitable, but it's not the worst thing, worst case scenario, because this game is not really of like a PvP base. So even if you are using like the lowest stat part in the game, it doesn't really matter too much. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people should be able to, with those standard parts or even the warfare parts, should be able to take down some of the harder content, I would say. The only competitive nature in this game is only arena, but that is dedicated to only, like, I don't know, maybe a fraction. I would say maybe just 1% of the whole population in the game. So I don't think anyone should be worried about too much about power creep. I know it's the thing when I do these kind of like Excel sheet talking about stats. Oh, this week this one is number 1. Oh, this week this guy is number 1 again. I mean, like they have to give us new parts, better stat lines, so people will summon on it. But at the end of the day, just summon for what you guys like. If you guys don't like the Wing Gundam Zero Endless World, or even like the Full Armor Unicorn, it's definitely something you can skip. It's not a mandatory to summon or whatnot, right? Enough of talking, let's actually dive into some alteration review over here. So let's actually start things off with supposedly this week's main headline, the Wing Gundam Zero Endless World version. So status are as follow right here. Rally department is not going to be your best friend over here. I did rank out everything, so you're looking at somewhere torso to leg, you're looking at somewhere around the 100 areas. And then head and the backpack, maybe you're looking at somewhere within like the top 30s or what. But in terms of like the shooter stat over there, yeah, that's it. Let's actually look at the Wing Gundam Zero over here, and let's see what we're looking at over here. Stat line base over here with about the 30% change gear. If you guys are new to my channel, looking at some reviews, usually what I like to do, I like to give the part the maximum potential. So I'll add in that it's either the left arm or the right arm gear that gives a 30%, or that takes 30% of whatever your defensive value, either melee or shot, and then add down to your melee or shot attack. So that's why what you see on the stats or on the Excel sheet is a little bit higher. So if you guys are just wondering, but yeah, on base over here you're looking at 10,260. So that's pretty good already. Like, that's really good. Defensive value is looking pretty good as well, like coming in almost at 4k, which is like fantastic. With that change gear, that will place it right at number 2. So currently the placeholder for rank number 1 is still the straight no name, but that one I'm pretty sure in the upcoming weeks should be able to get replaced. Next in line, in third place is going to be Gundam Helios. I think it's around 11,400 is again. Then next you have Soul Sam, and then the Cerebi, the one in the build diver series, and then you have full armor Double Zeta, Kasai, High New version Ka, and then you have your full armor unicorn, which I'll talk about in the upcoming segment. So this head over here will definitely age a lot, will age very well. But in terms of word tag wise, that is where the problem's gonna come in, because before they start learning to like focus on one specific tag, for example, this one Wing Zero is supposed to be meant to be a shooter based build, but word tag wise, Pro Tag definitely fits the overall Wing Zero. Because Wing Zero pilot Hero Yui is obviously the main antagonist, so that is no problem, right? But on a shooter build, you cannot run Pro Tag because the Pro Tag only supports melee stats. So you don't want to do that. So this head is not like a done deal per se. If you want to do some sub-slotting, for example, you can always double sub-slot itself. Because we do have 18 slots, so it only takes three pairs of 5 to make up for those 3 word tags. So you do have 3 extra slot as a wiggle room, or just for your mismatch or whatnot. But if you are, for example, able to take take the kick and take the pro tag over here, by all means you can do that. Because I don't recall any big scale having like a ace exclusive that has high firepower at the same time. So that's why I cannot really give any recommendation for like a big sub slot or big scale sub slot. Obviously, we do have ace exclusive and mid range, but are you gonna be getting is only gonna be that 20%, which I don't think is gonna be too good. Because what you want to do mainly for a hit, you want to double sub slot itself if possible, but if not, big scale is probably gonna be your next best option if for example. But portrait wise, this one is gonna be pretty good. They did definitely save itself because originally, before alteration, the first portrait was already good. So second portrait, they went with a little bit of a modern approach, giving a shooting power boost by 35%. So overall, this thing is really good right here. It's just the first portrait. It's only limited to only beam. So if you're using some physical EX skill, like bazooka type, machine gun type, you're not gonna be able to get that EX skill going on. But like I said, the effects in this one is only for EX skill power boosters. So what this wants you to actually do, just equip yourself with all the beam EX skill, and you should be fine right there. So not too bad overall. This one is definitely going to be this one is going to age well, just because of the style you're looking at right here. All right, moving on to the torso over here. Let's see what we're looking at. Just from looking at it, this one right now is going to be ranked number 2 as well. Coming in at number 1 is going to be a straight no name again. I'm pretty sure that one should be able to get replaced within the next couple of weeks, I would assume. Next in line, in 3rd place, you have High New Gundam version Ka, and then you have High New, just new HWS, that is the build project. And then after that, you have Full Armor Unicorn, which we'll talk about in the later segment. So this one is going to be a heavily stat line part you want to be using. So you can put this to your main build if you do so choose want to use the Awakening skill zero system. By all means, you can continue to do that because of the update of the skin system that allows you to put parts in your main build, and you can still sub-slot it, not sub-slot it, put it on your skin without any of the issues. So that is nice. But this one, I personally don't really use these kind of awakening skills, just because I value my E skill slot to have something that's a little bit more usable, like utility wise, maybe just better E skill, or for example. Not saying this one is bad, but just me personally, like I feel like most people would probably have this at like a portrait or EX skill level 1. So your first time usage is gonna be 18 seconds, and then duration is only gonna be 30 seconds, which is probably not okay in terms of like longer type of events. But let's say you're looking at some shorter type of event, maybe you can kind of bypass that. But I don't know. It's just the overall of awakening skills on the EX skill slot is like, it's kind of whatever. You guys do want to use it, by all means you can use it, but this is more of like a personal preference. I'll say I'm not going to be using it, but if you guys do like to use it, by all means. This one is definitely going to be a good stat sticking over here, but the problem is you're going to have to find yourself some good portrait for your subslots. So that is going to be it. I think that's the only trick you have to be doing over here, trying to get rid of that pro tag if possible. I don't know why the OBS is kind of glitching right now, so hopefully hopefully the recording comes through, because like I don't want to be going through the hassle of like re-recording it again. I don't know. Hold up, let me see. Let me try to. Okay, so hopefully the recording is going pretty smooth, but I'm pretty sure there should be like a little bit of a glitch here and there. So sorry about that. I'm probably going to get a new cord, hopefully, that connects with from my computer to my phone. That cord is a problem. I don't know why. It's not my phone. If it's my phone, probably gonna get a new one then. It's whatever. All right. So yep, this one is good in terms of stat line. 4500 in terms of like the raw melee or shot attack, and then 51 for that 5100 for that shot defense. So that's why you come up to a 6000 figure at the end of the day. Not bad, not bad. This one is definitely gonna be good. It's just you're gonna have to do some replacement in terms of word tag and then get some portrait if possible. All right, moving on to the arm over here. Let's see what we're looking at in terms of the arm. Wow, surprisingly, we are looking at rank number 1 as well. That's crazy. Second in line, we have Kazai Gundam. Third, we have Full Armor Double Zeta. Third, we have Gyujin Ribe Full City. Wow, that's a... Okay. And then next in line, we have the Cerebi from the Build Diver series. And then up next, we have the Musa Victory. And then up next, we have Crosso Mao. Wow. Okay, this one is good. I'm sold. This one is good. The problem I'm gonna mention right now, the word tag wise, pro tag again, so you're gonna have to get rid of that. So maybe try and throw in like I don't know, ace exclusive, commander type, or high firepower. Either or those should work. So in terms of the portrait over here, this one is good. First portrait allows you to allows for your projectile, so your beam weaponry will be able to get through your opponent a little bit faster, 15% faster than what they would normally be. But do you really necessarily need it? I definitely wouldn't say so. I'd rather have a power boosting type portrait. I think that's gonna be a lot more better. But this one is definitely gonna be very gimmicky. So it's definitely something new. Not new. It's unique to itself. Because we don't really see too much of these like increase your projectile speed. So that is something nice, I guess. So not bad overall. 15% raise right there. Second portrait is gonna be safe right here. You get a when you're using ranged weapons, E skill power boost by 35%. So that's good. That's definitely gonna be good. I just wish when they have these kind of conditions, they could be a little bit more specific. Not specific, a little bit more clear. Because like if people are looking at this as like ranged weapons, like what? Kind of wish they'd be like, oh, like is it using ranged weapon or like you have a ranged EX skill or whatever. Like I just kind of wish they would be a little bit more specific what they were talking about, or just a little bit more playing in general, so people can kind of understand a little bit better. Because sometimes these condition can be a little bit wonky in terms of like how you can translate it or whatnot. But overall, this is a pretty good setup arm nonetheless. In terms of like the stat, it's good, coming at 6,000. And just the word tag, I'm just a little bit nitpicky about having like a projectile speed. It's nice enough, but me personally, I don't know about you guys, I'd rather have something that's a little bit of a, oh, I can do more power, instead of something, oh, I can hit my enemy faster, right? But it's more, this one is, I would say it's more of a personal preference in a way. But me personally, I favor portrait that gives like utility wise, not these kind of like for show kind of stuff. But not bad overall. Like I gotta give it to that. Alteration definitely saved the whole kit over here in terms of the stat line you're looking at. It's not bad overall. All right, moving on to the leg right here. This is where they're gonna bombshell us with another 40% trait. So in terms of the overall stat wise, I think rank number three not bad. Rank number 1 is something we're gonna go over in a bit. Second in place is the Savory from the Build Divers, and then coming at 4th we have the Penelope. Coming up in 5th we have the Full Armor Double Zeta, and then coming in at 6th we have the Kasashi Repaired, and then 7 or 6, the High New version Ka, and then we have the Straight No Name that is gonna get replaced. And yeah, pretty sad day because Curly is having his Alteration rerun, so I'm just gonna say it right here, you don't need to get the Straight No Name Blake anymore because that just got replaced and he got canceled. So pretty sad, unfortunately. And what's even sad about this leg over here, you got Pro Tag again, so that is something you're gonna have to definitely work on to, get some different portrait wise and all that. Portrait is gonna be good. I think it's just a Vortex you need to kind of fix and all that. In terms of the portrait over here, first portrait is a completely disaster over here, getting you a melee increased stat or crit rate up. Because originally I guess they want to go for like a dual type build for this guy over here, so that's why they threw in pro tag. The condition of the effects is even worse. You have to be below you have to be below the armor of 70%. So that's not good right out the bat. So right out the bat, you're not going to be getting that crit up by 30%. But the second portrait is going to be good. You are up. Whoa, wait a minute. Up to 15 seconds. Hello. Okay, so this one is going to be like your longer type of event kind of stuff. So after that timer count, it lasts 15 seconds. That is when you're going to get the effects of the 40% EXQ boosting over here. So, I mean, we've seen better portraits out there, definitely. It's just this one is give you that 40% trade, so you might think, oh, this one is good. But for the first 15 seconds, what are you going to do? Are you just going to sit there and not use your EXQ? So, I would definitely like something that's a little bit more generic, not too many restrictions, definitely. That 15 seconds can be a pretty long time. Definitely, this is not something you're going to be using in an arena. Just not even match that you can end within like a 20-second maybe. So kind of a waste. But overall, if you look at portrait level 1, 25%, so that's going to be probably higher than what most people will have in the box right now. So this is good, but I will say I'm not for go to like, portrait this one when you pulled it, because there's definitely a better portrait out there already. I think there's one I can recommend right now. I mean, from the list right now, I can't really recommend any, to be honest, with a double stacking or double boosting from the list. So that's a little bit unfortunate, to be honest with you guys. The one I can recommend is the straight no name, but that's the build project, which a lot of people is not gonna have. But I think the next one, I think maybe people will pull for, is going to be the 4 Armor Unicorn, which we will go over in a bit. Alright, yeah, not bad overall, but this is definitely not something like, oh, I gotta alterate it because of that 40% trait. The first part trait is kind of like a, so I'm like, nope. Alright, moving on to the backpack over here, we have the Feather Dive EQ skill over here. The stat line on the backpack is actually pretty decent overall, ranked number 3 so far. Not bad. But this one is actually a pretty clean EXQ over here. What I mean by that in terms of the EXQ wise, trait level 1 or EXQ level 1, you're looking at an S power already. Normally, these type of like going up to like S power EXQ at level 1, they usually start at S minus. But this one's starting out at S power already. That is already good. Because normally a max out level 10, you're looking at maybe like a S power, but this one already having an S power is definitely going to be good. Once you do get this up to level 10, you are going to be looking at a S plus, which is going to be a lot more devastating in terms of power wise over here. Not any additional effects over here, only increase melee attack of your squad by 49%, so overall not too bad. I think this is definitely something people will pick up, just alterate it, just because this one's going up to S plus power afterward. So that's really not bad. This one will definitely be a good stat sticker at the end of the day. I think for both melee and shooters, this one is definitely going to be it. Because if you guys take a look at melee stat, 4800 as well, so you're looking pretty good. This one is definitely something I would say alterate, just because of the E skill coming up to S plus power. And then this one I would say kind of does support both melee and shooter as well, definitely. Pro tag right there, and then Gundam type for that shooter build over here. So not bad overall. Alright, moving on to the Trim Buster Rifle. The E skill, the Rolling Buster Rifle, is probably one of the most devastating E skill. Is a all-round AoE attacks. That means it allows you to just hit virtually any enemy that is not hiding behind an enemy, because it will not get past that. So stat line before any changes, like you're looking at 11.8k. That's impressive. That is definitely impressive. That is why this weapon right here is currently the highest ranged weapon in the game. Everything in combined, not just your long rifle, not just your regular rifle, not just like your bazooka. This one is rank 1 of all. But the trade-up is they are gonna lock this under a EX skill over here, the Rolling Buster. If you guys have the the Wing Gundam Proto Zero already, is literally the same thing, but this one just have a different. In terms of the gun, this one's a little bit different. Unless you guys like this gun a little bit better than the Proto Zero, by all means, you can, I guess, alterate both of them if necessary. But I don't think it's I don't think it's all necessary to alterate both of the same weapons. So this one's gonna be the same thing as the other one as well. Just A plus and B, A plus Pierce and B plus Power. So not bad overall. This one is definitely gonna be really good. I think this one, like I said again, the overall catch of the Wing Zero over here, you're looking at Pro Tag, so there are a lot of maintenance you got to be doing just to be able to get some good shooter stat over here. Right off the bat, something after talk about this part, what is something I would recommend alternating? I think the backpack is definitely something to alterate, just because of the E skill is definitely gonna be good. I think the head can be a good option, but the other one, or if you guys do want it, just purely for the sticking stat line, by all means. But I would say the chest is alright. The arm is like, come on, man, like why? And then the leg is the same thing again, like why, right? If I recall, it's yeah. That's why like why, right? But overall, I do like the how they saved the alteration with this guy over here. It's not bad afterwards. So, all right, so we can move right on now to the full armor unicorn. Alright, let's actually now jump into the full armor unicorn over here. So this is just a different attribute. This time around it's going to be P attribute. We have the T attribute last year, I think back in September. So just 11 months later, they decided to drop, they feel the need to drop another unicorn. All unit of all things, they want to drop another. How many does this make? I think probably this is probably the 7th or the 8th unicorn in game already. So yeah, that speaks level. Like I feel like the development team loves unicorn a lot, but this one is you can say a better improvement of the previous version. Better word tag, better stats, and better portrait wise and all that. So let's actually dive in right now and see what we're looking at. Oops, I think I clicked the wrong button. Alright, so what is the what are we looking at over here? So this one is going to be currently coming in at rank number 9 over here. So rank number 1 is a straight no name. Second is the Wing Zero eligible version, just we just talked about, and then there we're looking at Halio. So you're looking at just a little bit, a few places off, but in terms of stat, you're not really losing out too much. Probably at most like 200-300 points, which is not a lot to be honest. But in terms of the portrait over here, I would say this is definitely something of a restriction over here. First of all, they lock you into only using a middle shooter over here, so that is something you're gonna have to be. Are you able to commit to that? If you guys can, that is something that is gonna be good. Second, portrait wise, it's gonna be only arm EXQ only. I would say arm EXQ is not the most like common. I would say. I would definitely, if this is to the back, I would still say okay. But we have so many options in terms of the head that is a lot more free. That is a lot more less restrictions. So I feel like this one, you guys do have it, and this is the only option you have. But I mean, I guess for the stat line, but in terms of like doing good output, I would say I'm a little bit concerned about that because of the second portrait. So that is just my concern right there. This is literally the same thing as the unicorn perfectibility. I believe the stat, yeah. This one, the former unicorn, is a place higher than the unicorn perfectibility, believe it or not. I think the whole portrait wise is literally the same thing over here. So, word tag wise, you are looking at Ace Exclusive and Federation over here. So this one, what you can do with this one, I think you can do some big scale sub slot if possible. Let me see. I think you can go with like this one maybe. This one will work. You have Federation right there. And then this one will work as well. You do have base exclusive and mid range. So not bad overall if, right? That is if you need some subslot option right there. If you're, let's say you're not able to pull this another head, you can subslot it up again. I think those options are pretty good as well overall. Not bad overall, right? But I hold my judgment on this one over here just because this is like too restriction, too like the restriction is too much on this one over here. So I will like say, kind of, I had to pass. I would definitely have to pass on the head over here. So what they did with the previous version, they actually moved the NTD to the chest, which is smart. Because this one is obviously going to be a heavily shooter based unit, you can't miss out on some good portrait, right? So that's why they moved it to the chest, which is completely fine. All right, let's see what the chest can give us over here. So armor wise is looking pretty good. Straight stat wise 4300 and then 5300 for the shot defense, which makes it a pretty good competitive nature compared to the other stuff over here. 5900 is definitely really good. That is like, what are we looking at? Looking at, yeah, not bad. 6 you're looking at Destiny Impulse R, and now you're looking at 7 plus you're looking at Crossbow Mile. So you are looking pretty good overall. I think the better one I think people will be using should be the High New Gundam. The High New Gundam version card, that is something a lot of people have been using. But if you guys do have to decide, that one is definitely good. But this one is pretty good stat staking as well. Good vortex, so that is something rest assured. So in terms of sub slot wise, definitely trying to sub slot something that has some portrait. That will definitely help you guys do more power because portrait wise, they will definitely carry out most of the work over there. I would say the passive work over there. So that's why if you guys are going to be using the chest over here, please make sure to add in some portrait that will allow you to do more damage or not. But the NTD is nothing too new that we have not seen already. This one you're getting a speed increase, some shot attack increase. This is only applying to yourself, so this is not going to be like supporting your enemies or enemies. What did I say? Support your enemy? I mean support your ally. Excuse me. Wow, English, man. This one is like too selfish in a way. I would rather have some awakening skills or even some EX skill effects that actually boost my ally as well. So I would say I hold my grounds on this one. I would say I probably won't be using the NTT at all, but definitely the stat line is good. I think the awakening EX skill is more of like a personal preference, so that is gonna have to be decided on you guys over here. Alright, moving on to the arm over here. What I'm really disappointed about the P-type unicorn over here is they reused every animation from the previous one. I would have thought they can come up with some new EX skill for the custom EX skill, but no. They literally went ahead and just copy and paste the old one, which is like, why? Why did you guys just do that? Can you not give us a better animation? I'm pretty sure there's a lot of scene in the unicorn series where you can just kind of pull something up, but I guess they didn't want to. But this one's gonna be an arm plus an integrated shield over here, which I don't. Me personally, with these stuff over here, I don't usually run them a lot, just because of the fact I'm gonna be losing on some good portrait. Because the shield is gonna be completely fixed, so you cannot add anything else. So I'm gonna be potentially losing at least 2 portrait slots, so I don't usually use them. This one can be pretty good for subslot wise over here, definitely. But keep in mind, if you are gonna be subslotting a arm plus an integrated shield, you are gonna be whatever the stat on here transfer is gonna be cut in half already, just because it's 2-parter. Because this will be a way for people to get insane amount of stat if they were able to subslot a arm plus a shield with the same output, right? So that is that. In terms of the EX skill wise over here, it's not nothing too grandiose over here. This one, yeah, like I said, when I was looking at the Wing Zero over here, like I said, these usually they max out S power. So the one in Wing Zero backpack, that one maxed out at S plus power, so that's why it's gonna be a lot more powerful. Oh no, right? So this one I would say I'm pretty sure I'll treat it at your own cost. Just because we have this already. I'm pretty sure the stat is definitely gonna be a lot more better. The word tag wise is going to be a lot more mainstream line to like your shooter build, so I think that's the only benefit. But if you guys are not a big fan, or if you guys have the other one already, don't bother altering this one. It just takes exact same thing. And this one I would say putting on a actual main build or even subslot, maybe a little bit more of a hindrance of that Federation tag, because Federation tag is still not the most common word tag you want to be using on a shooter build. So that is that. Alright, moving on to the main store of the part over here. We have a 40% trade. Woo! Okay. This is not even a Sokai weeks, but we're getting ourselves another 40% trade over here. So, I think a lot of people will not like the first condition already. Wait, armor is 90% or more. So when you fall below that, that 40% shooting power is bye bye. That is that. I think that's the only main concern I would have. If I went into some multi missions, for example, if I get hit, I would just automatically lose out that shooting power, which is like unfortunate. I would say. I don't know why they put the restriction so high. Maybe like 80% would be a lot more better, right? But 90% is definitely something that is too much to like take in. I would say, but overall, 40% trade is a 40% trade. But I got a little bit. I need to be a little bit critical on this one over here. Just because so like 90%, like I'm pretty sure people would take more damage, right? Do let me know, like on a normal basis, would you guys take more than 10% damage? Yeah, I want to know that right there as well. But there you go. This one over here replaces the build project Astrino named Lake already. So that is something I will definitely do some posts on just to see if I can get the leg right here and replace it. Because this one is starting out at 25%, which is already beating what I'm using already. So yeah, very unfortunate, but you know, easy come, easy go, I guess. So this one's gonna be currently ranked number 1, so that is good, yeah, I guess. Second alive we have the Series, and then third we have the Wings Gundam Zero Unlockable version. So that is that, right? Not bad overall in terms of this one. I just guess the first condition maybe a little bit too scary some to a lot of people. Maybe the fear of like getting hit more enough times to fall below that threshold right there. But you know, that is gonna be a big tick right there, just to be like, yep. But overall, this is gonna be good. I think what we're missing right now is we need a backpack with a 40% tray, and then we should be pretty set, I think, right? But all right, let's move on right here. Word tag is gonna be good as well. This one is good. They gave us a ace exclusive, and then high firepower. Definitely a good match right there overall. Not bad, not bad. All right, moving on to the backpack over here. Let's see what the backpack has for us over here. In terms of the backpack, we are currently ranked number 5, so this is still pretty good. Rank number 1 is, like I said, Gundam Zero Unlockable version, and then we have the build project Double Zeta Gundam, and then we have Soul Sam, and then in 4th we have the G Self Perfect Pack. So, man, the G Self Perfect Pack is still holding up right there. Not bad overall, not bad. But like I said, what I am disappointed about this EX skill over here is like it's literally the same animation wise over here. Bazooka plus missile launcher over here. D Pierce and A minus power. So this is something definitely you don't need to alterate, just because pre-alteration you're only looking at a B plus power, so you're not losing too much in terms of like what kind of like damage output you can be doing. But obviously, I feel like a lot of people will probably use this for like a main stat line over here, just because it carries out a lot. 5,400, no, 5,200, which is a pretty good amount right there overall. So I feel like definitely people may use this for a stat sticking instead, which is completely fine. I would say that is completely fine. I would say so. It just really depends on like whether or not you want to put this on the main build or whatnot. But you know, if you do want to alterate it, that is going to be at your own cost right there as well. This is not something I would recommend. All right, now moving on to the beam javelin over here. Let's see what we have. Okay, those shot attack, but you do have a little bit of a shot defense, like 900. Okay. Word tag, you're going back to Ace exclusive and then Federation again. In terms of, yeah, you get some shooting crit rate up by 30%, which is completely a no-no. So I would say this one is you don't have to look at this any further. So we just kind of skip that right here. All right, we have two beam Gatling gun over here, which I would say they're not good at all. In terms of that, both of them are going to be looking at a 12k 12,400, which is good. This is probably the third or the second highest in game right now. If I recall, I think it's probably third. I think third is the most no, this one is, yeah, it is third. So not bad overall, but the portrait on these guys are like, why? This one's gonna be more of like a what you call it. This one's gonna be one of those that reduces your enemy shooting power, but you're gonna be able to do some EQ power of your own as well. But this one is only dedicated to the back part, which is like maybe not the best way to kind of go out of here. So I would say this one is not good at all. So don't even bother alterating it. All right, moving on to this one over here. What do we have here? This one, what you're using a middle shooter job over here, shooting power boosted by 30%. Second portrait is going to be increased job creation up by 20% or boost job creation up by 20%, which is not the most ideal portrait, I would say, depending, unless you really want to activate your like job create simultaneously. Then I guess you want to have this. But overall, I think both of these Gallagher are not the best, I would say. Word tag on this one is just a little bit worse, but I guess to elaborate more on this one over here, unless you guys are someone who wants to build like an all-inclusive enemy reduction build or enemy power reduction build, then I would say this one is good. But otherwise, if you're just a casual player who just like mainly want to do more power, I would say this one is not going to be it right here. So I think overall for the full armor, this version of it, I think the leg is definitely something to kind of take notes into getting. That 40% trade is definitely going to be good, but like I said, that little bit of a restriction of like big restriction when your health is 90% or more. That is when you are going to be able to activate that, which is just completely just not good overall. But I guess that is something you're gonna have to sacrifice when you are using these some kind of 40% trait right here. But other than that, I would say maybe just the head, but the head is a little bit too restrictive as well. So I don't know, like it's kind of hard for this one over here, I would say. Definitely staff for this one is good, but you are gonna have to do a lot of sub slot work over here from looking at the chest, maybe the backpack was and all that. Head is not the best part because I feel like for a shooter based build, we have so many better options that are not too tangled with like restrictions. So that's why I would say yes, do have the head. It's like kind of wonder some like kind of like being the cautious, like, oh, there's gonna be a lot more bitter. There's bitter out there already. So that is gonna be it for this review over here. So hopefully you guys do enjoy this one, and do let me know if you guys are gonna be pulling on either on those banner over here. So with that being said, that will be it for this video, and then I'll catch you guys all on the next one.